Hello, hello. Good afternoon, friends. Here we are on day 5, even though it's the 7th. We're going to confuse you now because I didn't do lives over the weekend. I did do a lot of videos for you, though. I hope you watched them because they were hilarious. All right, so I'm going to hang for just a second till you guys jump on. There's always a bit of a delay. It's been a busy day. Just had a reading with a new client. Super fun. All right. Had a great weekend. I am still catching up. So my husband is very fun to hang out with, but he's exhausting. So I'm tired today. Hello, Miss Linda. All right. So yeah, we went to the farm, which is out in Minnesota, and we went on a 4-mile walk, that felt great. I'm finally feeling better from my travels around the world. Saw the leaves that were beautiful. They're so beautiful. And I think this week they'll get even prettier. They're not quite as on fire as they were last year because we had a drier winter. But they're really pretty. And Eli was trying, he told me he was taking me on a beautiful walk. So make sure you watch that video too, because it's pretty funny. I'm like, this is not a beautiful walk. This is 4 feet of shit I have to walk through. And prickers and all sorts of stuff. So we took some funny videos for you. He also was trying to train me to back up a trailer, which I'm not good at. And I thought it was hilarious how many of you said, "Oh my God, you didn't swear once." I thought that was super funny. Pretty telling on my mouthy mouth, huh? So funny. All right. Good morning, or afternoon now. Hello, hello. Good to see you all. We are getting tons of beautiful feedback on the lives each day. So thank you for all of the comments. We're posting it on our blog. We will be sending out a weekly email for you guys to get the replays, the ones that signed up for it. So thank you for that. Also, of course, don't forget Spirit School. Doors are open. So we are getting some new people coming in, which is super fun. This week, if you are a member of Spirit School, we're going to be doing our intuition development on Wednesday night. And this week we are talking about numbers, a few different ways to use numbers in your intuition. So I think that will be very, very fun. So if that's something that interests you, you might just want to go join Spirit School. I'll put the link up here too in a bit. Let me see who's here. Now I'm seeing your comments. I see Linda and Tina and oh, you went to Itasca. I know. You know what? Our camper, we had to close the camper, or almost close it. And we're within an hour of Itasca. So I actually thought about going to Itasca because it was such a beautiful weekend. Hello, Miss Jen and Selma and Shondell and Peggy and Miss Kim. Hello, hello. And Miss Kathy. Hello, ladies. Okay, so some of you read the comment that I put up there today. We are going to be talking about meditation. And I know you guys hear about meditation all the time. Especially if you have someone like me in your life, you hear about meditation. But I think it's one of those basic things that is worth the time to talk about it, because it can really, there's a lot of anxiety in the world, right? There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of people that have a lot of anxiety. They have a lot of stress. They have a lot of social anxiety. They have stressful jobs, busy lives. We're always running, la, 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 right? And the main thing that I hear when I talk about meditation is like, oh my God, I can't meditate. I can't get my head quiet enough to meditate. That is why you learn how to meditate, because it's part of learning how to maintain your mindset and your busy brain so it is not always spinning And it's not always in that fight or flight mode. It's not always in that what if worst case scenario mode. There's so many benefits to meditation. One of my benefits is it forces me to sit down and connect with my spirit team, which has become incredibly important for me. It also gives me a place to remind myself to be grounded, to be present, to not run through life. Like there's a lot of memes that have a saying like, if you're super, super busy, instead of meditating for half an hour, you should meditate for an hour, like double it. And I agree with that. If you're super busy, you should be meditating more. And I don't meditate more than 20 minutes most mornings. Some mornings it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And my glasses are super dirty here. And so meditation doesn't have to be an hour, and it doesn't have to be perfect. But meditation is a practice that has supported my mindset. Like I think spirit, well, I know spirit always kind of knows what we need, not what we want. And I think spirit knew that if I didn't learn how to meditate early on, I wouldn't do it. And I would be, I would just be a mess. And so one of the first things that I got involved in when I started to do this work was with Wes Hamilton. He teaches a meditation course, and it's much more than meditation though. Let me be clear. It was way more than that. And, but it was meditation, and it was guided meditation, which was super helpful. And it really helped me learn to discern what I was feeling. I'm a huge feeler, and I had tried really hard to shut that off. And it doesn't work, by the way. If you try to shut your feelings off, it doesn't work. They will come out sideways in one way or another. And so when I was learning how to meditate, it was so hard because I didn't realize what I was feeling. I also didn't know how to feel peaceful or calm or safe or neutral. I had no idea what neutral was ever. I was either this or this. And to me, it was really, it was so important for me to learn it. And I'm so grateful that spirit put me in that lane to learn it. So I've done meditation classes for a long, long time because it was so important for me. And I think I like guided meditation personally because my brain is busy. So if I tell my brain you have to follow along, it will follow along. And part of meditation is you start your meditation, and then your brain goes and makes a grocery list, or I got to go talk to that client, or oh, I forgot to do this, or I got to do laundry. Oh wait, let me meditate first. And it teaches you to bring yourself back to a neutral place, or a peaceful place, or a safe space, or a more aligned place, whatever you want to call it. And I think people forget how important it is to know how to do that. Like, have you ever gone on an emotional spin? Like you have one thought, and then you think about this, and oh my God, that, and what about this? And oh shit, what if that happens? And oh my God, like it was so tough to get myself back from that. And I was so good at it. I'm so good at spinning out. And right before two good stories about the Camino. So right before the Camino, the Camino took up so much space in my head for this last year because I had to train, I had to prepare. I had never gone out of the country like that. I'd never gone to a place where they didn't speak all English. I was so nervous about the whole experience, like for sure around all the miles we had to walk, but there was like so much more. So it just took up a lot of space. And I'm pretty good about not forgetting things. I write them down. I set alarms. I'm pretty good about that piece. And my mentor and I had a call. I had no idea I had a call with her. I had completely forgot, totally blanked it out, felt awful because I don't know that I ever had done that. I don't think I'd have done that. I don't think I'd done that, at least not on purpose. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was like, well, you're going to see me in 4 days, so don't worry about it. And she's like, no, I think we're going to talk tomorrow. And I'm like, no, oh my God, you're packing, you're getting ready, you got all these things to get done. She's like, no, I think we're going to talk. And so we had our call, and I just had all this shit come out. I was so nervous, and I was so afraid of this, and oh my God, this, and la la la. She's like, okay, so what are you doing in your day? And I was like, well, I'm getting ready and I'm packing, I'm doing this. And it was like, and then I kind of caught myself and I was like, oh, yeah, I don't think I've even meditated once this week. The week I needed to meditate, didn't meditate, and it sure showed up. Like my brain was so fast moving, and it was moving in the wrong direction. That's what I always think about it, is my brain can move in the wrong direction super quickly. And so meditation brings me here, so then I can move that direction, which is forward. Where do I want to put my energy? I want to have fun. I want to do this. I want to do that. Right. And the other piece for me is that this was so fascinating to me on the Camino. And some of you have already heard this, but it was so fascinating. So the first day was really tough for me. Just my mindset was not where it needed to be. I had fun. I definitely had fun on the first day, but the physical side was awful for me, and my mindset was not in a great space where it could have been, and my feet really hurt by the end of the day, and I had worn the wrong shoes, and just different things. And so and the next day my feet were really aching at one point, and I had this hit, had an intuition hit to reach out to one of my teachers, and God, I always forget her name when I'm online. I'll think of it in a second so I can give her a shout out. And I had reached out and I said, hey, do you have any hints or any tips? Because my feet really hurt. And like, we have a lot of walking to do. And because I knew I had kind of a sense that it was something energetic. And the Camino, the energy of that path is amazing. It's so sacred, and it's so full of this graceful energy. It's, I don't know, I can't explain it. I can never put it into words, but the energy was unbelievable. And she was like, yeah, she goes, you're not grounding deep enough, and you got to ground yourself as deep as you can, and you need to fill yourself up with a shit ton of light, is what she said. And I was like, oh, well, I can do that. And so I immediately sat down when I got the message, and I grounded even deeper. And I realized, like, when I ground myself, I wasn't really going that far into the earth. And so I went way deep down into the earth, way deep down into the earth. And then I connected myself, plugged in. And lots of us use kind of that extension cord. Like I know a bunch of teachers that we all use that, like plug it in. And then I filled myself up with just as much light as, like, I plugged into the sun and the stars and the moonlight, just filled myself up. I didn't have one issue with my feet. No blisters. They didn't hurt. They were tired, and they would often be kind of swollen and stuff. And like, they were tired, but I didn't have pain. I didn't have pain in my back. I didn't have pain in my knees. I didn't have pain in my hips. And I have been working on some pain stuff in my right hip for a while. I didn't have pain in my shoulders. I didn't have any pain in anywhere for the whole Camino. And I tend to sometimes have pain in my body. So I was like, what the hell? That was so fascinating to me. And so every morning, that was part of, like, getting ready for the day, is I'd get my shoes on, I'd get my poles, I'd get all my stuff, I'd sit in my outfit, and I'd ground myself as deep as I could, and I'd fill myself up with light. And I remember telling whoever would listen, I would tell them about it, because I just couldn't believe how much it helped my body. And I was like, when I get back, I am teaching this. And so it's just this simple meditation. And so in Spirit School on Monday mornings, we do Monday morning meditation together, Monday morning meetup. And the last couple of Mondays, I've been teaching that because it kicks off their week. And it reminds you guys, if you're members of Spirit School, it reminds you that you got to just do a little plug-in and a little meditation. And it's 15 minutes or less. And we always do that in the morning, because getting grounded helps you stay present. Because a lot of us like to hang out up here. and we don't really want to be in our bodies, and we don't really want to be present, and we don't really want to be connected, except you do. Because when you're grounded and present to what you're doing, that's when you can actually make some shifts. And that's when you're present. You can be like, oh, wait, whoa, why am I thinking about that? That is not helpful. Like, stop, neutral, bring yourself back. Okay, we're actually going to go over here. Like, it actually helps your brain work better. Because a lot of us in our 50s, lovely women, we get that brain fog, and or even late 40s or early 40s, but we want to bring ourselves as present as possible. And I tell you what, that was one of my biggest things that I wanted on the Camino, was to be present, because I didn't want to miss things. So happily, I'm a slow walker, but I also was super present. Cindy Sheldon Brown, that's her name. She's the one that teaches me a lot about energy work and stuff like that. Okay, so how many of, I love this, Judy, she said, you have helped me improve my quality of my meditation. And we want that. We want quality meditation. If you're we talked about this last week in one class I was teaching, like if you're half-assing it, like you'll get half-ass results. And so if you can intentionally sit down and give yourself 10 to 15 minutes, it makes a difference. Now, I actually meditate a couple times a day. I do a meditation in the morning before I start my day. I also do in kind of midday. I get tired and I get kind of wore out. And so about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, I do my journaling and burning, and I do a meditation. Now, I started that time of day because it was right before I would pick up my kids from school. I also have the freedom to do it in my work. I can put it in my schedule. But I will do it like mid-afternoon. And if I need to, I'll do just a tiny little bit right before Eli gets home too, especially if we have a busy evening. So 5 minutes in the afternoon, or 5 minutes, 10 minutes, in mid-afternoon or at lunchtime, very much helps me kind of reset. Eli always calls it, what does he always call it? Something like reset. I don't know. He's got a certain way that he says. So he meditates as well. I think starting it in the morning is great because I'm a reactive person. And so when I meditate in the morning, I'm much more responsive to my day. When I don't meditate, I'm very reactive. Like I can tell if I go even a day or two without meditation, I'm super reactive. And so if you're that kind of energy, meditation helps you like take a breath and then you respond. Okay. Does that make sense? How many of you actually meditate? How many of you actually meditate consistently? And how many of you are super new to meditation? I also put a link for my magic meditations. They're like $11 if you want kind of a beginner series. And watch out for some holiday specials a little bit closer to Christmas, because I'm doing some new ones that you're going to love because they're nice and quick. So Kathy said she does struggle with it, makes her relaxed, and then she's groggy afterwards. And so if you're groggy afterwards, I would spend more time bringing yourself grounded a little bit more and fully back into your body, because you might not bring it, because when we go up here, sometimes you're not fully settled in your body before you bring yourself back, and you can feel a little groggy. So I would, and you're usually one of my last ones to come back during meditation, because I know you like to stay up there. So on the days that you have the time, just let yourself stay in meditation as long as you want to. So we don't always have that schedule, but the days that you can do that, do it, because you will see kind of what your body likes to do for meditation, because maybe you need 5 more minutes. Maybe you do need to do an hour meditation once a week when you can, or for sure make sure that you're bringing yourself all the way back, because then I think you won't be quite as groggy. And you've been really stressed out and you've had a lot going on. And so you might just be tired too. So your body's like, oh, God damn, that actually felt really good. Let's stay there. Because as soon as you come back, then your brain probably starts going on all the shit you got to do. So you want to bring yourself back and be a little bit more strategic in what your next thing is. What do you need to do next? Go get some water, and kind of let yourself get back in your body a little bit. Judy says, yep, I always need to redirect my brain. Me too. Meditate average 3 times a week. I want to do every day. Every day, Kim, I think you, just from knowing you, I I would go for that as a goal because I think for you it'd be really helpful right now. Selma said, still haven't gotten to the every day, but still getting in at least five times a week. That's amazing. Judy said, I meditate randomly throughout the day. Linda said, I love to meditate with you. I'm not good on my own. You're just learning to be good on your own, Linda. It's one of the reasons we do the Monday meditation in Spirit School is because I know people aren't great doing it on themselves. And so we start the week together and then we post the recording in the group so they can just listen to that same meditation every day if they want to. Beverly meditates every day. Peggy said, I do. I have a harder time grounding into the earth. Some people do. Some people don't like to be grounded into the earth because it makes them feel heavy. And the heaviness, it's not really a heaviness, it's a presence. So you kind of got to change your definition a little bit. But some people don't like to be grounded in because then they can't escape. Because a lot of people like to escape. So maybe, Peggy, the practice when you're going into the earth, kind of notice what you're thinking about, like, oh, this feels so heavy, I don't want to do this, or I don't really want to be present. I kind of like to be out on my own, like floating around. Just kind of see what kind of comes in and then really practice taking yourself into the earth to see if you can coax yourself in to be grounded a little bit more. Once I learned to bring it back down and mesh the mind and spirit, that really made a difference. Good. Chandel, I think, Chandel, you're saying I like walking meditations. Yeah, actually, Andrea, my Andrea and Angela, my team, you guys are amazing. Andrea actually loves walking meditations. Yep, Peggy. Yep, Peggy said, yep, that's the feeling, heavy. So it's not heaviness. It's being present, which is different than heaviness. So when you're sad or you're grieving or you're shameful or you're struggling, that's heavy. Presence in your body is a different kind of heavy. It's a different vibration. So you might have to just tell your brain, like, I'm learning to be present, because being present actually feels good once you don't think of it as heaviness. It's all semantics, you guys. You play with the energy. Yep. See, Selma said the same thing. I felt that sensation of heaviness, but realized it was actually the feeling of actually truly being grounded. Yep. Tina says, I meditate every morning before I get out of bed. I do have trouble turning off my brain. Yep. I think a lot of us do. How can you not have full brain? My brain is always so full. Like Eli comes home and he's like, how was work today? I'm like, nope, I can't talk about work. I got other shit on my brain right now. Like I can't, like, I just got to do the rest of my stuff. So I just think our brains are very, very busy. Kimberly says, I also feel that as I'm getting older, keeping my attention is harder to do. Yep. I even go off on random thoughts when connecting and grounding. Then 10 minutes later, I realize I didn't finish connecting and grounding, right? That's why it's a practice. That's also actually why I tend to do it at the same time every day. Because if I do it a little bit more randomly or not at a set time, I'm not as present to the practice. So I know I do it before I start my day. I know it. I do it in the afternoon. And then, if maybe before I go to bed or whatever. But I think for me, having a specific time reminds me what I'm doing. Like it's on my calendar. You got to meditate. So you might want to play with that, Kim. He was telling you were a little shit, Kathy. The horses are going to get your attention to bring you back to present, because horses like when you're present, period. They want you in your body and present. So if they're acting out, it's to get your attention so you get back in your body and you're present. Busy brain is a woman's brain. Yep. Yep. Is anyone on here super new to meditation? I'm glad you all like look at all of you actually that meditate, or even if you are watching the replay. Um, I'd love to know if you actually meditate or not. How many of you like guided meditations? Because I'm doing some guided meditations. I'm actually doing some, well, I guess I'm not going to tell you all of it. I'm creating some new meditations for you guys, but how many of you like guided meditations? Yeah, I do too. But I will say that I love guided meditation. That's probably my first choice. But I also learned that I really like quiet. And so a lot of people can't stand to be silence with themselves. And my husband being one of them, he's like, I don't need to listen to my thoughts. He's like, there's nothing good up there. And I'm like, well, first of all, you should clean that up. And that was actually a skill that I learned. So growing up, we always had TV or radio on, no matter what. And when I got in my own house, I was like, it's so nice and quiet. Like I really like the quiet. And so I actually learned to sit quiet by just doing it a minute at a time. And now I can sit quiet for quite a long time before my brain starts to go. It's actually one of my favorite things to do at the lake when no one's there. I usually in the summer go a couple days before my family does. And if I got there early enough where other people weren't in there or anything, I would just sit quiet for as long as I could. And it's my favorite because then I but come back and I'm super refreshed because I gave my brain a break. Sometimes your brain needs you to close your eyes and you need to just rest it. And that can be a quick little meditation is you just close your eyes and you just are silent and you don't let any words come in and you just let yourself sit in just a few minutes of quiet. And a lot of times that can refresh you. Yep, beautiful. Okay, how many of you sit in the quiet? How many of you like quiet meditation, like silent? Tell me in the comments. Interesting, Peggy. So Peggy said, I got to go get that link too. So Peggy said, before I started spirit school, I had to have the TV or something on for noise. And now I like the quiet and I am okay with it. Love it. Let me go get that page for you guys too. Thank you, ladies that are saying before spirit school, I did this and now I do this. I tend to fall asleep if things are quiet. And if you tend to fall asleep when you meditate, that is your, that's your body telling you you're not getting enough rest, by the way. And it's not the same. So some people meditate with me and they start in the guided meditation, like our full moon clearing. I hear this a lot in the monthly full moon clearing. So people will stay with me and then they kind of go on their own journey, but they always come back with me. That's not falling asleep. That's stretching yourself out energetically farther than where my voice is taking you, which is great. You should do that. And then you come back. So I have had people where they have literally fallen asleep and are snoring. And then we giggle a little bit and try to wake them up. But when you're listening to a guided meditation and you kind of go on your own and then you come back at the end, you're not falling asleep. You're just expanding yourself. Okay. All right. I like guided when my brain is very busy. Yes, agreed. And then you can focus a little bit. Yep. Yep. Okay. So I wanted to give you guys a little sample of a meditation. And I thought we would do the grounding one that I did during the Camino because it just, it was beautiful. I loved it. Oh, Kimberly says she gets cool visions when she does quiet meditation. I love that. So a lot of times, this is another thing that I would tell people, because I didn't realize this, and then once it was said, I was like, oh, that does make sense. So your meditation in the morning isn't necessarily where you get your answers. Your meditation is for connecting. Connect to the light, you connect to the earth, you connect to your team, you connect. And then throughout the day is when the answers or solutions or signs or whatever you've asked for get to come in. And I was like, well, damn, that's great. Because I do know people that do get a lot of insight and answers when they meditate. I've just never gotten that during meditation. I'm like, I don't know. I don't ever get things during meditation. I'm just like training my brain. And when I learned that, like that really changed my meditation practice because it took the pressure off. Like I didn't have to come back with, how to solve everyone's problems. I just had to connect. And then throughout the day, the solutions would come. And so for some of you that get stuck in that needing to get your information in meditation, some of us don't get our information that way. My information comes throughout the day, all day. It doesn't come in my meditations. My meditations are to get me aligned enough to be able to see what's coming from spirit. Okay? That makes sense? All right, let's see. Before Spirit School, I wasn't doing it enough, and guided depends on the day, but guided helps when doing a longer time. I agree. I started meditating every day and learning from Spirit School, and it's helped me so much. Thank you, ladies. I can tell the days that I have missed it, right? You do. You start to know when you miss it. Yep. And pets definitely love meditation. So when Charlie, my big orange cat, was alive, and I would do a certain guided meditation, I would just be grabbing my phone to pull it up, and he would come from wherever he was in the house or outside. He would come in and he'd sit right with me, and we would meditate together. And when he passed, I was actually out of town and stuff, so it was a few days till I came home, and I was sitting in my normal chair where I meditate, and I was like, oh, I don't have my cat with me. Like, this is terrible. And then I felt his energy come in, and I'm like, oh, good, he's still here. Ruby, not so much on meditation. She likes to interrupt meditation. So she comes in about the middle of the meditation. So I usually start it and I don't really meditate until she comes in, and then I meditate because it takes her a minute to get kind of settled in it. Dogs love meditation. Horses love meditation. I do not know about chickens. I know several of you have chickens. I have no idea if chickens like meditation. That would be a funny question or experience. But okay, let me make sure my phone is off, and let's do a little meditation for you guys. There we go. All right, as long as you're not driving, go ahead and just get comfortable, put your pencils down, put everything down, and just start taking a couple breaths. And as you're, these are funny. My cats love meditation. They hear Jody's voice and they come running. I'm a cat girl. Yep, Aubrey, that's exactly what I'm going to take you through. You must be psychic. All right, so go ahead, take a nice big deep breath. So when you're meditating, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Okay, just take a breath, close your eyes. For some of you, it might be really helpful just to put your hand on your heart as your eyes are closed and take a breath. And the first thing you're going to do is just take your attention to your heart space. Okay, so you're going to take a big breath. You're going to feel the energy in your heart space. You can tap on your heart a little bit. Then you're going to take your energy down into your belly. You're going to take your energy down into your hips, down your legs. You're going to take your energy down through your knees, down through your ankles, into your feet, and pause at your feet for a second. Then you're going to take your energy down into the ground, okay, down into the earth, to that cool dirt and rocks. You're going to take it down even further into where all the tree roots are. And some people teach that you can tie yourself onto a tree root, but I want you to go farther. Go way deeper than that. Go way deep down into the middle of the earth. And a lot of people see Mother Earth, or they might see a crystal, or you might just see that glowing light. Some people see the color green because it's super nurturing and healing. So you're going to plug yourself into the middle of the earth. And I do it like an extension cord. Just imagine plugging yourself in. Then you're going to bring that nurturing energy up through your feet. So you bring it up through the earth, all the way up into your feet, and just pause at your feet so you can see what that feels like. Bring it all the way up into your knees. And if you have aches and pains, this is, if you were on your own, I would sit in those areas a little bit longer with this light. So you can bring it up through your hips, up through your belly, up into your heart space. And I'm going to have you keep taking it up into your shoulders and your neck, down your arms. Take that light up past the top of your head. Take it up past the trees. Take it up past the clouds. Past that collective energy. Go way up past that. Up into the light. Some of you might want to plug into the heavens. Some of you might want to plug into the sun or the moon or the stars. See which one feels best to you. Some of you might want to be plugged into all of them. That's what I like to do. And then you let that light come down. And not only let it come down through your body, but around your body too. So you're going to fill your whole energetic system with light, but you're also going to fill your body with light. And you're going to bring it down through your heart space. Down through your waist and your legs, down through your feet. You're going to go all the way down into the earth again and connect that light into that earth energy. So now there's a circle. You have the earth energy connected with the light energy connected with the earth energy. So heaven and earth now are connected and they're moving through you like a circle. Okay, so then you can bring yourself back to the room. Wiggling your toes and your fingers. Taking a nice big breath. Opening your eyes. Tell me how that feels. So sometimes the energy likes to come up and around. Sometimes it likes to go forward. Sometimes it likes to go backwards. You can try all of them. I kind of like when it comes up and around me. I think that's kind of a great way it feels. Sometimes it goes down into the earth and around. So just see how that feels, but see if you can feel like you're more present in your body. No problem if you're late, ladies. Hey, Miss Helen. Good to see you, darling. She was one of my buddies on the Camino. We had some good laughs. I feel peaceful and relaxed, more light. Yep, you definitely will feel lighter if you meditate, you guys, especially if you connect to the light. So a lot of people connect kind of to that collective energy just by nature. And you don't really want to be connected to that. That's heaviness. Go up into the light. Feeling a little bit more calm. Yep. A little bit more peaceful, maybe. Yep, good, Tina. So Tina said she feels the energy moving through her body. Stress of my heaviness from hurricane preparations. For sure, you guys need a few minutes. And sometimes that's what it is. It's a few minutes to escape the stress you're in. Whether it's hurricane or it's a health crisis or someone's dying or whatever, sometimes just a few minutes of meditation, that didn't even take us, I don't even think that was 5 minutes, that can reset your vibration a little bit so you're not in so much of the collective anxiety of it. Good, Judy. I'm glad it disappeared. Kaylin said she's more brighter, more peaceful. Love a guided meditation. I know, me too. I really like guided meditation too. There's lots of meditation. So I do have some in the store on my website, of course. I put the link up in here. YouTube has a ton. It has a ton. The Calm app, a lot of people use. It just really depends what you're looking for and what works for you. And I would tell people to try different kind of meditations. There's a lot of different kind of meditations out there. I think I teach meditation for like I don't think I would be considered an advanced meditator. I meditate every day, but I also am busy and I also want some meditation practices that you can relate to. So I really try to do meditations that people can do and they'll take the time to do it. Because at least it gets you started, and then you can also always deepen your practice. You can always deepen. My practice deepens every year. And when I'm going out in the mountains and I'm going to Sedona and I'm doing these different things, like that's part of my meditation practice, because I'll sit by a mountain and meditate all day if I can, or by a waterfall. Like everything feels different. So practice meditation outside, even with the noise. Because what some people are, they're like, oh my God, my house is so busy to meditate. I'm like, well, again, you're learning to block that out. So meditating with noise around you isn't always a bad thing, because it forces you to come in even deeper into yourself to block that kind of stuff out and not let it pull your energy. What's really fun when you start to see energy and feel energy is you can actually see when people's attention are being pulled from their meditation. Like I can see it in the energy and in the vibration. And that's what meditation is to not get connected into all the different noises out in the world. Because then when you're out in the world, you don't pay as much attention to all of that stuff. And we could all use some help in that, right? Yep, Carla said different meditations on different days and times and levels for her. I try to do some meditation with my pre-K kids. Love that. At the very least, some deep breathing. Yeah, just breathe. Just take some deep breaths. That is a perfect place to start. Yep, this is what a lot of people think. Donna said, I always thought meditation had to be lengthy. Learn from you. I can even do it while I'm walking. Yeah, and I do think there are certain meditation practices and they do nidras and they do different things, and it is an hour long, and there is preparation, and you set the energy and you do all these different things, and there is definitely a place for that. I love that kind of meditation. I also know that day to day when I had I probably could do it now, but when I had kids and we were getting them to school and all that kind of stuff, no way, I never had time for that. And I wasn't willing to make time for it. But what was interesting is when I did start to meditate, you know, I taught my kids I'm going to meditate. I didn't say I'm taking a break. I didn't say I'm going to my room. I would say I'm going to go meditate. And so when I would get crabby, they'd be like, Mom, don't you need to go meditate? And I'm like, I hate when you guys use that stuff against me. But it was true. I probably didn't meditate that day. And so my kids don't necessarily, that I know of, meditate daily, but I see them both have different things that they do that brings them back to neutral. You know, if Foster can't figure something out, he's really a lot like Eli in some ways. He's like, I got to go down, just sit down for a minute. And he goes to his room. And then like 20 minutes later, he'll be like, oh, I know what I have to do. Eli does the same thing. He does the same thing. Keaton might take a bath, or he might go play a game, or like everyone's got their own little thing that you could create into meditation. Okay. So today, meditate. I know you just meditated with me, but do it again on your own and see how it feels. And I will be back tomorrow at noon. I'll be back tomorrow at noon. I do not know that I'm going live on Friday. I have to double check my schedule. I have one of my best friends, her brother passed, and we have a funeral. So I do not know if I will be here on Friday. I just have to check my morning. If I do show up on Friday, it'll be in the early morning, just FYI. Otherwise, the rest of the week, I am at noon, 12 o'clock Central. Okay. And if you're interested in my meditations, you can head to my website. They're automatic. You'll get them emailed to you. And then we have our monthly moon guided meditation also on my website. And we really work into the full moon energy on that one. Okay. All right. Baz, music, and candles. Absolutely, Helen. I'm with you, sister. Thank you, Donna. All right, friends, I got to go. I got work this afternoon, so I got to go, and I will see you tomorrow at noon. I don't remember what we're talking about, but today I want you to meditate. Okay? All right, guys. See you later.